You should see it. Hey, hey. So the topic today is Black woman, let's rule. Let's rule, Black woman. More succinctly, let's rule with emotional skill. Thank you, Daya. I works for this skin, baby. This is not genetics. I works for it, okay? So, succinctly, let's rule with emotional skill. What up, goddess? What up, goddess? What up? What? So today I'd like to share some pleasures that I have enjoyed this day. By the way, my name is Naima. Where you are watching now is God Power Live, where Black women gods and others who are not Black but who resonate. This is God Power Live with Naima, where Black women gods come to connect with their likeness and refine our emotions so we can do what we came here for. I'm live streaming here on TikTok and here on Facebook simultaneously. Thank you for them hearts. Thank you, thank you. Yes, hello, beautiful to you as well. If you ever want to watch the replay, because I'm here every weekday at 4 p.m. for January, because normally I'm here at 8 a.m. If you ever want to catch one of these replays, because you're likely not going to be here every weekday at 4 p.m., but you know my work is rich and you want access, you bring your gorgeous behind over here to Facebook to watch the replay, because the replay is always here. How do you find this replay over here on Facebook? Facebook.com/Naima Singletary #1. Again, Facebook.com/Naima Singletary #1. Okay? Thank you for the follow, goddess. Someone said if you can rule yourself, you can master others. This is true. And we prefer to be in relationship with folks who their interest is in ruling themselves. Okay? A rare community, as I talked about yesterday. If anyone who was here today was here yesterday, the topic was a rare community of Black women. Rare Black women, not the typical spiritual Black girls who, it just amazes me how people can talk about spirituality and be the most victim consciousness folks. I almost feel like something should strike down to correct their sight when they dare include, or I shall say, when that person dares call themselves a child of God and are riddled with scarcity. Listen, somebody, well, people take, well, because people are ignorant, they don't know, like, etc. It is required that language is corrected. That is the point here. Language is required to be corrected. Okay, so I'd like to share some pleasants with y'all. First of all, listen, I almost forgot that I was supposed to be here with y'all today at 4 o'clock. I'm so used to being here at 8 a.m. I went to Pilates this afternoon. I went to a 1:30 class. I'm a big Pilates fan. Oh my goodness. Yes. I highly recommend Pilates. So I get out of class and I'm sitting in the car setting up the GPS to take me to this sauna that I just found out about. I look at something and I'm like, oh my goodness, I gotta be with my peeps at 4 o'clock today. So I got myself together, came home and ate. Oh God. And let me share with y'all what I ate. So listen, we're gonna be here for a little while. We're gonna be here for a little while. Let's share some pleasantries. Hey Ramirez, hey. Behavior is not on the yes, exactly. Listen, we can tear that up every which way. So if you're new here, I'm a power mentor. My company is the Academy for Womanhood. I am in the business of helping women come into their full power. Stop hiding, stop lying, stop playing small, end forgetting, end the whole amnesia thing, and bring their voice into creating compelling content, into bringing who they really are. My work is rare and profound. My work is rare and profound. It is not average spirituality. It's not shit you can find in a free video on TikTok, YouTube. It is all inner, and the depths of it are so deep and foreign to most of us that most of us will not and cannot traverse them alone. So, if you're new here, that's for you. Now, I'm like, where do I start? First of all, Pilates lights me up. I completed Pilates. Then I came home and I ate. Lord, yes. So Trader Joe's has an authentic wheat bread, whole wheat bread, 4 ingredients. When was the last time you ate a bread that had 4 ingredients in it? Every bread I see on the shelf at a typical grocery store got about 30 ingredients in it. You ain't even eating bread. Anyway, so it's a round loaf that they sell by the half. I ate that, toasted it, smeared avocado on that. Love avocado. All the nutrients in the avocado. Hello. Organic avocado. And sauerkraut and hot sauce. Sauerkraut is wonderful for your gut. So those of you who you may not eat as well, sauerkraut is a great way to get the clean in your gut, okay? With some hot sauce. When I tell you the level of yum, and I also had a side of 2 organic scrambled eggs, so that was pleasurable for me. Now I want to share some books with y'all. Baby, I want to share some books with y'all. So, a lot of us are just very ignorant to how our brain works. We're very ignorant to how much our brain controls us. You think it's you that wants that sugar, that coffee, that food. It's not you, it's your brain making you go do it. Yeah. And the food companies now have become so astute. That's why there's always a new name for sugar. You don't even know you didn't even know that, what's another name they got for sugar? They've created so many names for sugar now that you didn't even know that was sugar that you were eating. Dextrose. I mean, when did dextrose become, right? And so they become masterful and they're in cahoots with lawmakers, so they become really masterful at creating food that addicts you, okay? And so when you are oftentimes when you have a hard time stopping eating something is because your brain wants it. And these foods, they are designed, when they make these foods, they're designed to control you at a brain level, to grab your brain, get you hooked, because once you're hooked, it's hard to get you to stop. So it's financially beneficial for the food companies, and it's hard for you. So this book I want to share with you, I haven't started reading it yet, but the doctor, I've known him for a while, and he knows a lot of what he's talking about. So this book is called Change Your Brain Every Day by Daniel Amen, Dr. Amen. And I first found out about him at a Brandon Burchard conference in San Jose, California, over a decade ago. And so if you struggle with stopping eating things, if you feel overpowered, like deep inside, you feel like you can't break patterns and you have a hard time, oftentimes shadow has a lot to do with it. And there's competing difficulties. One is unconscious, the other is the brain. And I watched a clip of his the other day that talked about how coffee affects the brain. And I particularly want to hear what he has to say more about that. But then also just what you don't know about how your brain is being controlled. You don't even know how you're being controlled at a brain level. So I'm recommending this book. I haven't started reading it, but I've seen enough of his content and have listened to him enough to feel confident to recommend his book. This second book, oh my goodness. Whew. Finding the Art of Focus. This is written by a woman, Christina, what is that, Bengston? She is a world champion in focus shooting. Like shooting with precision shooting, I think it's called. She's a world champion. And she talks about she used the analogy of her skill, her precision skill with shooting, in how to apply that to focusing in our lives. Why does this matter when we talk about Black women ruling? Let's rule, Black women. That's the topic for today. Let's rule. Black woman. That's the topic. Why does this matter? We are so many of us, so many of people, in this instance, Black women who are leaders, visionaries, and content creators, are extremely scattered. Anxiety is high. You got 20 tabs open on your mental computer all the time. I meant to do this. Oh, I got to do that. Oh, shit, I forgot about that. Oh, let me do this again. Oh, let me buy. Okay. Oh, what about this? Oh, I got to. The end of the day, so much of what you needed to get done didn't get done, and it just transfers over to the next day. And life becomes this kind of a chase, right? Where you're not in possession of your time. You're not in possession of your energy. You're not in possession of where you're going, what you're doing, etc. This book of what I've already started to read, Lord God, yes. The book uses, I'm reading now, Finding Focus, page 12. The book uses shooting as a metaphor throughout. One reason for this is that shooting, particularly precision shooting, and the ability to perform well in this form of sport requires the same mental capacity as any other form of challenge that is not decided on a physical level. So, meaning everything you can choose to focus on, like me and Pilates, that's a choosing to focus on it physically, or any kind of workout, physical activity. Another non-physical is the focus that's required to do something mental, that's required to stay focused on a particular thing that's of extreme importance to you, that requires a lot of mental capacity, versus what I know is true for many of you. You're so like shallow in doing 20 things in a day that if you were to give your attention to two things, focus, go deep and narrow in, then you would have the results that you want. The financial results. Thank you for all those hearts. The financial results, the impact in the world, the content, all the things that you want. And so, and I love that this is written by a woman. So there's a woman perspective. I read a bit about the intro. Yeah, here she is. Oof. Like, this is a case of discovering the tiny difference between focus and unfocused, and what this little nuance in existence can mean. This makes me think of Kelly Roach. She's an 8-figure coach, and she talks about so many entrepreneurs think it's like some hack and some trick, and like they can buy something to help them do something, when often, and I wish I have a story that could really, and I could have, I just sat here some more and thought about it. A millimeter of a shift, a tiny shift, that can make a world of difference. That tiny shift could be breathing, deep belly breathing for 10 minutes in the morning, 5 days a week. It could be you drop this particular thing that you do every afternoon because you just have been doing it for so long, you don't even realize it's not valuable and you don't need to do it anymore. Anyway, all right, so enough about that. I just wanted to share these two books because they have been going with me. Um, anyway, I could say more about that. So, this topic about ruling, and then with emotional skill, ruling with emotional skill, we're starting with why this even matters. Why does it even matter? Well, okay, let me back it up. What time is it? Keep this. Let me break this down a little more. I'm not average. I'm not here for average women. Okay. To be great. I hear so many people talk about being great. What the fuck does that even mean to you? Specifically, is it just a feeling? This is what I mean by the difference between talking people, focused and unfocused. People who love to talk about, they just really want a feeling. They can feel great by somebody just praising them. When I say great, I mean your insides get worked because you do hard shit. You do shit that embarrasses you. You do shit that tears you apart on the inside. You do shit that humiliates you, that doesn't feel good. That's how you become great. So I say that to open up where I'm getting ready to go with this. Okay? I'm just, yeah. All right. So that's why it matters. First of all, why does the emotional skill that's required for rulership matter? Well, because to become great, it's required. Now, what do I mean by emotional skill? Oh, this is a loaded topic. What I mean by emotional skill is that one, you are not in avoidance of feeling difficult emotions. Let me repeat that. One, you're not in avoidance of feeling difficult feelings. For example, I have a client who she's going through transformation right now. And transformation is hard. Real transformation, where you become new, is hard. It's uncomfortable. Nobody likes it, okay? We had a phone call for our private time, and she told me, I don't like the way these things are feeling. And so this is why she went to go talk to somebody, and she pulled back on her work because she doesn't like the way it feels. Now, when we first started working together, like everybody, she's excited. When you get your gym membership, I'm excited. When you decide you're going to buy a house, build a house, do something new, I'm excited. And I told her when we started, I said, because what I like to do is I like to build in expectation for clients because people don't know. They don't know. So I said to her, sweetheart, everybody starts excited. And I want you to remember this excitement when it starts to not feel good. Okay? I want you to remember this excitement when it starts to not feel good. So when she is on the phone with me and she's telling me, I don't like how this feels. This is why I pulled back. This is why, because I was questioning what I was noticing about her. Yeah, because I was feeling, she described the feeling she was having, and I don't like the feeling. I don't like the feeling. So when I talk about emotional skill, it's being willing to feel the feelings without avoiding, meaning, and this is what avoiding can look like. You stop doing the work, whatever the work is, creating the content on the taboo triggering topics. That could be a way of, I don't want to feel that, so I stop doing my content. Difficult conversations that you need to have with a parent, a spouse, or somebody else who you need to create boundaries with or cut off, and it doesn't feel good. So I avoid actually having that conversation. So that's avoiding feeling. So why does this matter? Why does not avoiding difficult feelings matter? It keeps you out of the power and the knowledge that you get in doing the difficult thing. I repeat, as I said earlier, you become great by doing things you don't want to do. You become great doing difficult things, uncomfortable things, things you do not want to do. Now, this is what my God, I'll share myself and David Goggins. You guys know David Goggins, right? That, he's the Iron Man? No, not Iron Man. What is that called? Those men who go through, they can die in it. What is that called? Those army men, what are they called? They have to go through harsh waters and all the Iron Man. Is it Iron Man? Anyway, and he's the thing. You guys know David Goggins. He's the one that is like, stay hard, stay hard, stay hard. That's his thing, right? You go to YouTube, you search David Goggins. You know what I'm talking about. He was on a podcast recently with this guy. I can't remember his name. And the podcast host was talking about, it was some scientific term. It's like 3 different words. I can't recall what it is. But it's a part of the brain that strengthens the will. I wish I could remember it. I can't remember. Anyway, it's a part of the brain where you strengthen the will. And the only way to strengthen the will is to do things that you don't want to do repeatedly. You do things that you don't want to do repeatedly. Now, when I first started creating content 12 years ago, like today, it may seem like it's more easy for people to create content. Everybody's doing it. You're not really standing out because it's a thing. Everybody's doing that. Faiza said, I'm learning that. What are you learning, darling? In 2011, which is when I started creating content, I hadn't seen any Black women online creating content, right? So there was no model. There was no like, oh my God, she did it. I can do it too. There was no inspiration from anybody who looked like me. And I've shared this story. As a matter of fact, there's a video on my TikTok page right now. If you scroll down to like summer or fall, early fall of last year, where I talked about how I hid for 2 months. Like I bought the equipment to create videos. This is May of 2011, more like March. And I hid the equipment because I was so scared to create content. And then May is when I finally created the content, but I was so exhausted because I used so much of my will to put the video out there. And I remember it was so difficult for me that I said to myself, if I don't create a plan to make sure I'm consistent with this, this is either never going to happen again or it's going to take 2 more months for me to create more content. So I decided and I committed that every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, this was in 2011, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I was going to create content no matter what, no matter how I felt, no matter how I looked, no matter what was going on. And I did that. That was 12 years ago. I've been online since then. I've created thousands of pieces of content, countless. I was building up my will, not even realizing that I was building up my will. I did not want to do it. I was scared every time I did it. Wasn't sure what I was going to talk about. Who is watching this? Am I making sense? Me being here today, talking to Black women gods, me coming out as a master sex shame healer in 2014. Do you know how much I tried to hide between, I'm going to say, egregiously was running and hiding in 2018, let's say the tail end of 2017, all of 2018, and most of 2019. Do you know how much I did not want to be? Okay, there was a part of me that did, like my high self, yes, but my human self was like, I don't want to. I don't want to be my football. I don't want to deal with whatever's going to come with that. It feels like a large responsibility. It feels like too much. I don't want to do that. Can I just stay here? Can I just do this? Can I continue doing business coaching? I was see a man over here, be like, let me just feed him the power so I don't have to do it. Let me hide behind somebody else and feed it to them so I don't have to do it. Let me hook up with her and then, I'll be like a partner, but I'm really like behind and I'll let her lead. Because I didn't want to. I didn't want to. I didn't know. I'm scared. I don't know. What is my mom going to think? Like, how is this going to work? Is it even worth it? This is ridiculous. Like, why? Like, why me? Like, find somebody else to do it. God? No. Any of y'all done that? That's why, you know who they are by how they walk. You know who they are by how they walk. Not how they talk, how they walk. Okay? And when I tell you I became bedridden in the south of France and couldn't take care of myself for days, when I tell you I had to get an emergency surgery, when I tell you I got deported from Bali, when I tell you I start breaking out all over my chest, literally, like my body was like, man, I was completely taken over. No, you don't want to do it. You're required to do it. You want somebody else to do it. It's for you to do. You don't want to do it? Well, this is what's in store for you. Just terrible misery. You don't want to do it? This is what's in store for you. Keep on running. Keep on hiding. Keep trying to find somebody else to do it. Find somebody else to do it. Find somebody. Go ahead. Keep on looking for somebody else to do it. Go ahead. Keep on. Your ass gonna be handicapped in a minute. We're gonna handicap your ass permanently. Keep on. Keep on. Keep on. Great. Your face is so familiar. We got a troll in the building. What's up? Go ahead and talk your shit. You're predictable. Do something that we don't predict. How about that? All of the trolls is predictable. That's the problem. It's sort of like calling a fat person fat. We see that. Get creative. Do something else. Do something that we're like, oh, wow, we didn't see that coming. You become great by doing what you don't want to do. The word David Goggins used is the sucking. You do what sucks over and over. He said, I don't even want them doing a documentary of me because they wanted to do a documentary of him. I don't even want them doing a documentary of me. He said, these are his words. Good God. You know what? Maybe because I would love for y'all to watch this. Hold on real quick. Let me. I want to tell y'all so y'all can go look this up. He said, I don't even want normal people. He used the words normal people. He said, I don't want normal people looking at me. He was talking about men. He was like, I don't want men, normal ass men. He's like, because a lot of men not being great because they got a warm body at home. He said they got talking about they woman. They got a warm body at home. And then the podcast host is like, yeah, man, because, they love you. So they telling you need to rest and, take it easy and all this and all of that. And he said, this is why so many men don't become great. He said, I don't want no normal ass men on the internet looking at a documentary of me telling me that, oh, my life is miserable. I need to create balance and whoop-de-wop. He said, this shit is hard. He said, this shit sucks. He said, if you're going to become the greatest, he used the word immer effer. If you're going to become the greatest immer effer ever, here it is. The name of the podcast is called Andrew Huberman. It's called David Goggins, How to Build Immense Inner Strength. How to Build Immense Inner Strength. Andrew Huberman. Huberman is Huberman. So good. I think the podcast was over 2 hours long. And it sucks. Becoming great sucks. So you be truthful with yourself in the suck. You set up things to help support you in the suck. Like what supports me? Pilates. This is how you start to build that emotional, when I'm talking about emotional skill, when you're all over the place, when you don't have things in place to support you. Pilates is in place to support me. Committed to the way I eat is in place to support me. Reading books like this is in place to support me. Creating an environment where I can rest very easily is in place to support me. Watching myself push my limits, pushing, there's always right? And so when I talk about ruling through emotional skill, these are some of the ways that you do it. Admitting and owning the fact that being great is hard. Not theoretically, really. Not theoretically, practically. You're not going to want to do things. Like I have a client right now who she works in helping business owners build wealth through their business. But she's dealing specifically with the emotionality of money. You struggling to open your bank account, your bank statement, that's an emotional problem. you're struggling to make certain decisions or set up certain boundaries or have a certain money conversation with somebody, that's an emotional issue. And in order for her to do that, there's a way that she needs to bring her authentic experience to it, and she's having difficulty with that. Difficulty with being judged, difficulty with, how she even feels about bringing certain personal topics to the market and how exactly am I going to talk about this? And I told her because she wants to be great. She is great in many ways, and we all know where we're not living up to our potential. We all know it. To everybody else, we look accomplished, and in many ways we are, but we always know personally deep inside when we're shortcutting shit, when we're not really stepping up to the plate. Okay? And so she's stepping up to the plate to be even greater. So this is what I leave you with today. I'm getting ready to get up out of here. This is what I leave you with today. One, being great is hard. You build up the will by doing hard things repeatedly. Let me be more clear. Doing things you don't want to do. Hi, beautiful. Not necessarily just hard things, because here's the caveat that they shared on the podcast. If you like doing it, like it's something hard, like a hard workout class or a hard something, but you like doing it, it doesn't build the will. The will builds when you do things you don't want to do. Is that the most unfair thing ever? Baby, life ain't fair and freedom ain't free. Life ain't fair and freedom ain't free. You build your will by doing things you don't want to do. And they really break it down. He breaks down the whole science of it and the research that's been done to come to these conclusions. Yes, the podcast. So that's enough. So the one thing was doing things you don't want to do. That's what I'll leave you with. That's how you become great. Number 2 is this podcast that this person is asking for me to repeat. It's on YouTube, okay? The podcast name that you search for is Andrew. You know how to spell Andrew. Last name is Huberman, Huberman. This podcast came out 9 days ago, and it already has 3.2 million views. And the name of it is called David Goggins, How to Build Immense Inner Strength. I think this guy was like an Iron Man or something. He did one of those, the most elite things that they do in the army, where they basically almost kill you. You can die. Men have died doing it. So he's done that, but he's gone on to do much, much greater things for his own mental toughness. So that's the name of the title of the podcast, but the man who hosts it is Andrew Huberman. So that's the second thing to take away this podcast episode for you to look at. Number 3, these 2 books. This one here is written by a woman who does precision shooting. I love that. And I'm already liking what I've read. The Art of Focus. That's her name. You can screenshot that. And let me come over to my Facebook screen and share this once more. If I can find it. Facebook, what's going on? Okay, here we go. Can y'all see that? The Art of Focus. And then Christina. I want to make sure the light is in the light right. Okay. So that's the number 3. Number 4 is I'm inviting you to, if you're looking to connect, not even just looking to, but you are done with the lone path, right? Many of us have done the alone, this whole walking through life as loners, and because with all the reasons. And if you know that that's expired for you now, you've connected with what you are doing next enough to know that you need women in your life who are rare, emotionally rare, skilled at another level, and are looking to become more skilled emotionally, where we don't even think things average women think. We don't deal with jealousy and competition, not in any kind of ugly, mean way. We don't, just the shit that I be hearing that women be dealing with. I just be like, what? I don't even think this shit that I be hearing about. So you want a place where women actually love and care. They want to see you win. They want to share resources. They want to support you. They want you to do the same with them. We're we're long game thinkers. We're thinking about 10 years from now. We're thinking about where we're going to be living, the kind of friends we want to have, what kind of communities we want to have, how we see ourselves living 5, 10, 15, 20 years from now. We're not the basic shit that women doing. I don't know. It just has never appealed to me. I don't resonate with it at all. And so if you're a emotionally developed woman who's a visionary, leader, content creator, you have a very compelling, exciting vision that turns you on, your business, a project, etc. And you've been around long enough to know, right? Like a lot of younger people, they just haven't lived long enough, so they don't even understand the real value of the community. That your life transforms drastically when you're in regular, tight knit community with women who want to see you win. Your life changes. So I want more young people to know that. I don't know how young people are here right now, but and so you recognize the priority and the immediate urgency of getting in conversations now with women who want to see you win, of meeting and communing and fellowshipping in person in a very relaxed way, because that's what we're doing at Women God's Gather in Atlanta. We're going to be in a cozy, large, but cozy loft, beautiful natural light. We're going to be kicking off our shoes. Listen, if I want to take off my clothes is coming off. Our first gathering is on the 16th, which is March 16th. It's a Saturday. And it is that day is really all about communion, leaning back and doing very hot alchemical work, which is why I'm like, don't be surprised if my clothes come off. Hot alchemical transformation where we are in such truth telling that we dissolve layers that we don't even know are there. Layers of scarcity, layers of fear, layers of procrastination, all the layers. Because there's things you know about yourself. There's the fears you know you have. There's the scarcity and doubt and all that you know that you have. But those often are not the most powerful ones. The most powerful ones are the ones that's in your unconscious mind. So the alchemy we do is going to be, it's going to be uncomfortable in many ways and thrilling at the exact same time. The kind of thrilling that happens when you start having body shaking truth telling. You ever told truths that made your body shake? I remember the first time that happened to me, I was like, I need to find more women to do this with. And what's happening is the reason why your body's shaking is because the lies that we hold in our body, that we habituate, that we make normal. And once they become normal and habituated, we live it out without even thinking about it because it's unconscious. Like Gwenna talked about the story she made up about men, and then she forgot about the story she made up. So she locked that thing into her unconscious. So then when she came out wanting to lose weight, she would feel anxiety when she started to see results, and she didn't understand why she was having anxiety about losing weight when she wanted to lose weight. It didn't make any logical sense. That's because the fear was controlling her invisibly from underneath. This is why I say it's not the fears that you know of, the ones you can say to me out your mouth. It's the fears that you don't know that are invisibly controlling you that we tackle in the room March 16th, March 17th, and on the 23rd, which is why I say the heat, okay? Clothes can be coming off, okay? Breath, right? Because the goal is for you to be new when you leave Women God's Gather. Thank you for liking the live. For you to be new. This is high level. This is advanced. I don't know anybody who's publicly, everything I'm sharing with you, this is not even half of what we're actually going to be doing. There's all the marketing I have done over the years, and the marketing never captures what we're actually going to be doing. Because when you get powerful women in a room who are intentionally doing alchemical work, it's just you can't predict, you can't plan. Like I'm hands off. All I'm doing is my part and letting what wants to happen in the room. So if you're ready for rich, radical transformation, you're welcome, Ramirez. If you're ready for rich, radical transformation, if you deserve rich connection with rich women. If it is urgent now for the goals that you're working on, urgent now, not we'll see, well, I got a lot going on. Well, it ain't urgent. If you have goals you're working on now that are important to you, that are life changing for you, that would increase, that would multiply your money, that would have you start speaking online in your content and in your relationships in a way that would actually match who you say you are. If you're ready to throw to the wind, to the universe, to your unconscious mind, that you mean it now. Not like, well, I got other plans. Well, I know, but yeah, that's the signal you sending out. Well, it's not important to her, so it ain't important over here. Do you want providence on your side or not? Perhaps you've heard that quote that said, when you make a decision, clearly focus in a certain direction, providence steps in. It's another way of saying the universe steps in and backs you. This is exceptional. I just feel like my words don't even capture the exceptionalism. So I'm really just doing my best to articulate this. So I shared with you just a fraction of some things that I leave with you today. And I love the thought of thinking that there's so much more that you've picked up here today that I have not even mentioned that you picked up here today. Thank you for all those hearts. Whoever that is has been giving me constant, steady hearts while we've been here today. I absolutely love it. All right, I'm on my way out of here. I'll see you mañana, 4 p.m. Pacific. You all take good care of yourselves. Oh, the link is in the bio. The link is in the bio for Women Gods Gather, and the link is also with this video here on Facebook. Feel welcome to DM me if you have any questions. Bye, dear. Da, 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 da. I have a notification over here. Let's see who this is. Moonchild. Hello, Moonchild. I don't know if you're still here. Hello, Moonchild.